See, because you just don't have a clue, you can't handle it, well, they won't let you get a credit card again. Or it's a pay-as-you-go credit card. You give us 500 bucks. All right, we'll give you the piece of plastic that enables you to spend 500 on it. Essentially, you already paid for the stuff. Okay? How many credit cards are out there? Thousands. Okay, thousands. And they're all different. Good luck reading the fine print. Is it confusing? Absolutely. Even with the rules they have in place to protect the consumer, it's still a jungle out there. Okay, so this is just, we're going to let you buy it today as long as you pay it off in the future. Part of the bank's billion-dollar profits come from these too, because people don't pay it off quickly enough. Okay? What's the rates on credit cards? Well, is it more than a mortgage, do you think? Robbie? Oh yeah. 3 times as much. 4 times as much. Absolutely, right? So, a couple of examples. Jana. See some cool boots. What are cool boots, girls? What is the name of some cool boots? Darcy? Don't know? Don't know the names, you just know what they look like?
Uggs.
Uggs. Yeah, you pay for those. The real Uggs or the knockoff Uggs?
Real Uggs.
You, yeah, and I have some real life experience with this.
You have real Uggs?
No, my wife does.
Oh.
Actually, I do. I have slippers. You do get what you pay for. Those are real sheepskin. They last. They do. Okay? Sure, they're 200 bucks, but 4 years later, my wife's still wearing some of them. You buy knockoffs for like 80, next year you need a new pair. They don't last. And they don't even feel the same.
They aren't really winter boots. No, they're
Well, yeah. Yeah, they're nice and warm and cozy, but no, they don't even have a tread on the bottom where you can go out in the ice and the snow. Because I know all this from experience too, because I saw her fall on her ass at some peaks. Okay, on sale. All right, now I can get those nice Uggs. 25% off. In the name of privacy and copyright, I can't say it. This is being recorded. They don't carry those. Yeah, I think Softmock's the only place you can get Uggs around here. Okay. Yeah. Unless you're in Vancouver, and there's probably 20 different places. She uses her department store credit card to buy said boots that are cool. Buy them. And plans to pay them off at $10 a month, because she didn't really have the money to pay for them. That's why, she put them on the credit card. Well, there's other reasons why you do that, but okay. How much did the boots actually cost her? If the, well, I better say credit card, don't want any abbreviations this early, has a rate of 24.99% compounded daily. So when it compounds daily, as opposed to, say, monthly or semi-monthly, is that in Jana's interest, or is that in the store's best interest? You agree? You don't agree? That's in the store's best interest. Because the more often it compounds, the more interest they get from Jana, right? If it's Jana's investment, she wants it to compound frequently, right? She gets more interest. Okay, so not only does that look like a pretty high rate from what we've seen so far for investments, and what was a good rate in a GIC for 5 years? Who remembers? Sorry? You weren't even here. I mean, for our project, we did some research. We went online. 5-year GIC, what was the rate?
2.2.
2.2. Guess what inflation is? About 1.5%, maybe 2%. So how much is your money actually growing? Not much at all. So this is 12 times that. Plus it's compounded daily, right? So if this was a monthly rate, maybe it'd be like 26%, right? Okay, the equivalent. All right, so these boots are 300 bucks. They're 25% off. How much are they today if you buy them? Well, let's just put that in our equation. We got to think about that. This is my payment, 10 bucks a month. What am I trying to find? Well, do I know how long it's going to take me to pay these things off? No. That's where we got to kind of start. What is N, right? Because, I mean, if this gets paid off in 4 months, you know this doesn't add up. But, I mean, I only put in 40 bucks, right? We got to find out. So I don't know N. I, 24.99, that's how it goes in your calculator, remember. Some of us are trying to think that was a formula and we're trying to get the daily rate. We just put it in like that. Present value. Now how much are these boots? And there's a couple ways to do this. They're 25% off. So I could go 25%, what's that as a decimal? 0.25 times 300, that's how much off. But why do all that? Why don't I just go, how much are they going to cost me? I got to pay 75% of 300. That's how much they cost me. Now, do you want to go 0.25 times 300 and then subtract that from 300? Great, we're going to get the same thing. Okay? That make sense? Sure, let's go with it. Okay, payment. It's 10 bucks, but how do I put this on my calculator again? Yeah, good. Got to be a minus, right? Because that money's leaving me. If I say that I'm getting the boots, that's coming to me. The 10 bucks is in the opposite direction as far as cash flow goes. One of them has to be negative. What's the future value? Yeah, I want to know how long it takes to pay these off completely. When is my loan value going to be nothing? Okay, when is it 0? And then payments per year. How many payments? Well, it says 10 bucks a month, right? This is monthly. So that's 12. And compound per year. This credit card compounds daily. 365 times a year. Okay, that's what we're putting in. Apps. N. I don't know. I. 24.99. Present value. Now let's put this in. 300 times 0.75. Does it look reasonable? 225? Is that 25% off? Yeah. I get $25 on every 100. That's how much off it is. So 25 bucks on 100, 50 bucks on 200, $75 off on $300 boots. Those are 225. Okay? So if you want to do it the long way, feel free. My payment is negative $10. That's how much I'm paying a month to pay these suckers off. Okay? You're female? You're asking this question? Yeah, but you don't have a job. Wait till you get to be a teacher and you make like $300,000 a year, and you see how many boots you buy. Never say never. You get what you pay for. Okay, so N is 30.7978. Okay, but here's where it gets a little tricky. We've already done one like this. Can I make 0.797 payments? No, I can't. It's going to take me longer than 30 monthly payments, but it's not going to take me 31 payments. I'd be paying too much. So I know it's going to be 30 payments, but I'm going to have some left over. So my last payment is not going to be 10 bucks. Solve for the new future value after 30 payments, and I still owe $7.83. That's my last payment. So if this was an answer in the book, how many payments? It would be 31 payments, okay? But the last payment is not $10. The last payment is $7.83. Okay? Make sense? Okay, so this is, let's write that down. That's 31 payments. As an answer, that's what it would be. Okay, how many payments? If this is a multiple choice question, your answers are A, 20, B, 30, C, 31, and D, 212. You're going to pick C. Okay, 30 is not correct. It's not paid off for 30 payments. You still have some outstanding. Okay, so that equals $10 times 30 payments, and then the last amount I have is $7.83.
So what if it's like 30?
It's 31 payments, but that 0.4, I can't make 0.4 of a payment. So you put in 30, and then you go back and see, well, how much am I going to owe for the last payment? Okay? So how much is that? That's $307.83. That's how much those boots cost me. So does the sale really mean anything here? How much are the boots retail? They're only 300 bucks. They cost me $307.83 because I used my credit card, which is a pretty high rate, and because it took me a long time to pay them off. Okay? It took me almost 3 years to pay off a pair of $300 boots. What would have been smarter? Having $225 cash. Okay? Smart person would have paid cash for them if they had the cash. And if they didn't have the cash, they probably wouldn't have bought them. Okay? Make sense? Okay. So, is that, if you really want them that bad, great, but the sale doesn't mean anything, right? If you use your credit card, it actually costs you more to buy them on sale than if you save the 300 bucks. Okay. Remember that. That's a life story. You know how many people... And where's the difference go? Where does that money go? Ellie? Where does that money go? The difference between 307.83 and 225? Where?
What?
I didn't hear what you said.
Sorry, I thought you said where would the money go? Yeah.
Where does it go?
I don't know.
Who owns a credit card? Yes. Ellie buys a turbo for his new car. Because, well, why would Ellie do this? Because turbos are cool. Darn right. Should he charge the turbo everybody likes air miles on his air miles card? $50 annual fee, which gives him a 2% air mile value at the end of the year. That card's 19.99%. Well, that's a bargain compared to Jana's card. Or is 18.5% bank card. If he plans to pay it off at, well, he's got a pretty good job, so he can afford, because he lives with his mama, at $400 a month. Right? That's their culture, right? Boys live at mama's home till they're, what, about 45? Come on, you Italian. You live together forever. And you move out, you get a wife, and your mama come and live with you. Because you miss her lasagna. Okay. So, it doesn't say it here. Both are compounded daily. And why do they do that? Most credit cards compound daily? Well, because that way they get more money for the banks. And that way they can post a lower number than if they said, well, let's compound it yearly, right? Because then it would be a bigger number. And you want to just, you're a silly consumer. You just want to look for the lowest number out there possible. So at least they're all consistent. They all do that. Okay, so there's a bit of stuff here. This is maybe a little trickier than you think it is. Okay? There's some stuff going on. This card, well, it's got a fee. But it pays them a 2% value at the end of the year. What does that mean? Everything you spend on here, they give you like the amount of 2% of what you spent in the form of air miles. So if you like traveling, and who doesn't, right? It almost seems like you're traveling for free. Little do you know that you paid for it. Okay? So let's split this up. We're first going to compare each card. So let's look at the air miles card. Again, what am I trying to find out here? Which one should he use? Should he charge it on this card or that card? Okay? Well, what would make the difference here? How much is it going to cost you? How much interest are you going to pay on each card? You got to work them out separately. You need to know how long it's going to take you to pay it off before you can find out how much interest you pay. Okay? I don't know what N is. That's what I'm trying to find. Does it say how long it takes them? No. Okay? I don't know it. Okay? What else do I know? I know I is 19.99. Present value. How much am I buying this? Ali's buying this turbo for? $4,200. Okay? But where does this come in? What do I do with that $50? Yeah. Okay? Unless you're going to pay cash for that $50 fee, let's say it's at the beginning of the year, that's when he gets billed for that $50. I got to pay for that somewhere. So he put his turbo on there, and the credit card company says, well, you got the best card you can get. You got the Air Miles card, you got to pay a fee for that. It's $50. That goes on there too. Okay. So that's $42.50 present value. Okay. So I don't know if you want to make it messy like that, but that's where that comes from. Future value. Well, that's what I want to know. When do I pay it off? I'm going to calculate the total interest. I want to know when this thing's zero. What's my payment? $400 a month. That's got to be negative. And payments per year, this is the same for both cards, monthly, and they're both compounding daily. All right? So, my rate is 19.99. Present value, $42.50. If I take that as positive, my payment has to be negative. Okay, my future value is 0. How long does that take me to pay it off? Well, how long does it take Ali to pay it off? Well, 11.8 months. Not too bad. But $400 a month, it's going to come off quickly. I need to know the total interest. Okay, it's not 11 months, it's not 12 months, okay, but I got to go 11, and then how much does he have for that last payment? He makes 11 payments of 400, and then his last payment's going to be $315.73, okay? So I got 11 times 400, and he still owes $315.73. No, I want to know exact to the penny. He's not making 12 payments. Well, yes, sorry, he's making 12 payments, but it's not 12 payments of 400, right? Like otherwise, he's getting ripped off $85. Okay. So N is whatever it was, it doesn't matter. This is what I want to know, right? The total paid, okay, 11 payments of 400 and that, and what does that give me? 47, I better do it.
4,715.
Okay, good. 4773. Okay. But what about that Air Miles reward? Because we got to take that into account. That's going to determine which card he wants to use. I get 2% value from my purchases. Okay, so that makes a difference. They love Air Miles because people love their Air Miles, and they use those cards most often because they love their Air Miles. But if I'm comparing apples to oranges here, I got to make it apples to apples. So what does that mean? Okay, this is the total I paid, but I want to subtract 2% of 4,200, okay? The annual fee doesn't count for the Air Miles. So 4,200, what's that? 2% of 4,200? $84. Okay, 0.02 times 4,200, right? So essentially, I got $84 towards my next flight. That's 2% of my purchases, or Ali's purchases. All right, so I need to deduct that. Because in its essence, it wasn't $47.15. $73. It actually, because I got like an $84 credit, it's $46.31.73. Okay? Essentially, that's what it cost me. Make sense? Okay. Yeah, lots going on. Next one's easier. Nothing with this bank card. It's just a lower rate. There's no fee, but there's no rewards either. Okay? So bank card, everything's the same here, except the rate now is 18.5. How long does that one take me? Okay, so change the rate. The future value, sorry, the present value is different now too, isn't it? It's not 4,250, it's 4,200. I don't have a yearly fee. Okay, that needs to be different. Payment's the same. Future value 0. Payments per year still 12. Compound per year still 365. And this will take him 11.55 months. Okay? So what do I do here again to get the total amount? Okay, I got to change that to 11. I know it's 11 payments of 400. And how much left over? 217.86. So total 11 times 400 and 217.86 is how much? $4,617.86. Okay, no bells and whistles, no nothing. That's how much it would cost him. How much in interest? Minus 4,200. That's 417.86. Okay, that's what it costs. Whatever. It's life choices. Okay, he wants it. He's going to pay it. So now I'm comparing apples to apples. Which way should he do it? He should air miles. Yeah, well, it's close.
But you get air miles.
It's close. Yeah, but I took that into account, right?
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, yeah, mathematically, maybe the second one's the best way to go. Okay.
It's really.
Yeah, but if you want your air miles at the end of the year, oh hey, look, I got a free trip to Salmon Arm. Okay. Well, seriously, you know, it takes a lot of spending before it actually makes a difference, right? Some people love their air miles. It works. They love using it. Even if other cards, I have a card. Well, I'll explain this after I give you a assignment. Okay, page 100. 1 to 3.